age or 10 years younger, But at first it felt weird, but it's like, it's beautiful because, I mean, we know each other. Like she said, I really feel like I've known her my entire life. And the relationship is fun. I mean, you see, we're laughing and joking about this thing. We literally talk to each other about any and everything. There's no holds barred. I mean, we talk about our prior sex lives before our relationship. And I think it's healthy to talk about stuff like that because that's stuff that you did in the past. It has nothing to do with what you're doing now.
Right.
So I think it's beautiful because if you have to hold something back from the person that you're in love with, the person that you're married with, or even just dating and hoping to get married, you're pretty much setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, that's our take on it. But starting over was a little rough for me, definitely, transitioning to dealing with younger kids again because I was dealing with my older kids and I kind of got into that drill sergeant mode.
Mm-hmm.
So here I am dealing with, at the time when Jemiah was like 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm having to realize this is a 4-year-old. You can't talk to her like, get your butt up. What are you doing? And so I just had to, get myself back in order. But, I mean, it worked. I love the girls. They love me. And
oh, yeah, they adore you. Love is the understatement. They don't even see me anymore. They be like, Daddy.
Right.
Like, I want Daddy. Mommy is mommy. I'm called when something is needed to be done or, doing mommy duty, somebody's sick or whatever. But yeah, they are huge daddy's girls.
I gotta talk about it. So when we first got together, and I like being that we stayed so far apart, we were literally seeing each other quarterly, seasonally, if you will.
Yeah.
So like every 3 months or so, we would see each other. I'd come up there, or she'd come down to North Carolina. So the first time I came up there. And when we was at the funeral, I didn't meet now the 5-year-old Lily. I didn't meet Lily yet. So when I met her, very first time meeting her, so we go to take family pictures. And of course, I knew Jemiah, so we had already hit it off. Lily had never seen me. And normally when a child, any child, male or female, sees another person in their mother's life or father's life for that matter at the first time, it's not all happy, joy and all that. No. This little girl act like she knew me. So we're getting ready to take the picture, and when we're taking the picture, she wanted to get in my arms. And her mother was like, my baby was like, what? Okay, she never does that, but sure.
Right.
So she gets in my arms to take the picture, and if you look at the picture, you can literally see her holding on to the collar of my shirt and smiling. So the photographer was like, okay, we're gonna try something different now. We're gonna let the girls take a picture with their mother. So I'm like, okay, baby, go to your mother. And she was like,
Yeah.
And my baby was like, you don't want to come to me? She was like, And my baby kind of had this like real sad look on her face.
I got really sad. She did not want to take the picture with me. And she just met him. I was in my feelings. I was like, okay, you gonna just trade me off to, somebody that you just met. That's why we do it. That's how you doing your mama. So yeah, I was really in my feelings. I was hurt a little bit. But then I thought about how precious that is that she just met him, and it showed me how amazing of a person he is. If she just held on to him and still hasn't let go. She still has not let go. She loves him to death. Okay, to life. We don't want her to die. To life. She loves him to life. Yeah, but I was in my feelings about that. I was like, what in the world? And it's funny too. It was actually before we took the picture, we was staying in a hotel room. It was our daughter's birthday, and we were staying in a hotel room. And during that stay, the girls was actually fighting over him. Like they was having a whole brawl out over who got to sit in his lap and who got to be around him. It was just hilarious how they was acting. I was like, you both just met him, really?
Lily was like 1, 2 at the time, and she literally, like, Jemiah tries to get in my lap, and Lily literally crawls her little butt over there and grabs her bigger sister and drags her back down to the floor and was like,
Yep. That's literally what happened. Well, I would say, for me, how did it feel to start over? I would say it was scary. It was scary. My divorce was fresh. It was fresher than his divorce. So it was very fresh. I think I was when I met him, I was still getting the divorce.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but we was separated. We wasn't working out during the time I met him, so we wasn't together at all. And so, I mean, this marriage was even long, though. It was like 6 months. That's a whole nother story. It was 6 months. And so, during the time we was dating, my divorce got finalized. And so I was able to, take it more seriously. And I had fear because, like he said, he was Muslim and I was a Christian. And being, raised in a Christian household, my mom is a licensed minister, or ordained minister rather, and I was taught my whole life pretty much that I should marry a Christian and unequally yoked and that whole thing, that whole spiel. And so I was scared because I was like, okay, God, is this for me? But the whole time God was like, yeah, that's for you. I sent him for you. And I broke up with him like 3, 4 times. How many times? I broke up with you 3 times? 4. I broke up with him 4 times out of this fear because I was like, it's not gonna work, or I just felt that he was too good to be true, to be perfectly honest, because he was just amazing in my life. He was always positive. He always, I think, you was the first to say you love me, or was I the first to say I love you?
I believe I was the first, because you really didn't know how you felt yet.
Yeah.
I mean, you knew, but you was just kind of nervous about saying it, and you wanted to make sure that it was right, because you had 2 little ones, so you just wanted to make sure that you had the right person in their life, and I totally understood that. So, but I mean,
that's
me,
true.
when I when I know, so I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna waste no time with this, and just like she said too, I felt like I said before, that it was ordained. So, I mean, come on, how you going to go against the Creator? If something's really ordained, if you really feel in your heart of hearts that something's ordained, then why would you go against it? You know what I'm saying? So it was like, all right, the heck with this. If this isn't ordained, then I'm just crazy and I'm listening to voices in my head. So, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, we're still here. I have no plans of leaving. She has no plans of leaving. So,
Right.
But starting over for both of us, I gotta say it was different. And not even on the level of the children, just the fact that dealing with someone new, someone that because again, we were only together for a year and then we got married. You know what I'm saying? So dealing with someone for a year, you still don't know everything about this person. They don't know everything about you, and so you're still learning that person. I mean, we're still learning each other now. But I think people need to understand that even if you've known somebody for 4 or 5 years or 2 years and then y'all get married, how much do you really know about that person? I mean, there's been mad stories of, women who were married to a man or men that were married to a woman and she had more than one husband or he had more than one wife. Don't know how they pulled that off, but it's happened before.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? All types of things. Or they had another life. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he could have been a murderer or something. You know what I mean? So there's a lot that you don't still know about a person. So we both took a huge gamble in doing this to make sure that we knew what we wanted to do.